Welcome to the Wholesome Healing Collective.
Join us on our podcast for a journey into the hearts of healers from all walks of life, diving deep as we explore meaningful conversations that have the power to inspire, empower, and share life-changing wisdom.
Through this community, we hope to create a welcoming environment where our listeners leave feeling nurtured and uplifted. We are so delighted you are here. My name is Alyssa.
And I'm Renee. Grab a drink, get cozy, and let's dive in. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Wholesome Healing Collective. Me and Alyssa are back with you today, and we wanted to pop in, give you a life update, and just kind of share where we're at, what we're going through, what we're excited about, and share a drink with you.
I love that. Are you drinking cacao?
Yeah. I need to get a new black tea mix. I drank all of mine, so I've just been rocking cacao lately.
Yeah.
Do you have a drink with you?
I just finished my cacao, but I have my water over there. Gotta make sure I drink it. It's been a minute since we've recorded an episode and put it out there. So we just want to say hi and check in. And so what is new with you, Renee?
I am, it's funny. I was so looking forward to the energetic new year. And this is really the first year ever that I've even been tuned into that. And it was just kind of a funny lesson of releasing expectations and attachments, because I had it built in my head of how it was going to feel and how the new energy was going to be refreshing and motivating. And I'd be like hitting the ground running. And then my body just freaked out. And I don't know exactly what it was. It might have been a bit of contraction after expansion. It might have been a little bit of stress and my body just kind of shutting down a little bit, but my back just kind of seized up and I was in a lot of pain, and I was like, this is not at all how I wanted to start this year. But I took good care of myself and got into an amazing body worker and did some self Reiki healing, and feeling much, much better. So I guess it was a lesson in listening to my body when it tells me to slow down, even when my mind is like, it's time to go, go, go. So I listened and I feel much better now. So I guess it was a good lesson. But yeah, I had to consciously okay, releasing expectations and attachments, and I found myself getting in the trap of analysis of how did I manifest this for myself? What did I do wrong? And da 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 da. And it's like, no, we can be in the duality of I'm still holding this vision and that isn't my reality, but I'm still going to hold that vision and not let my reality suck me into this woe is me, victim, why is this happening mentality. But I could tell that the temptation was there in my mind.
Yeah. Wow. Your body definitely wanted to slow down and rest.
Yeah.
And I love that you honored that. I mean, you kind of were forced to, but
Yeah.
the self-healing and the massage helped you move through that quickly and be present to it instead of just pushing through and ignoring it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
What's been alive for you besides 2 new puppies?
Yeah, we brought 2 puppies home last week, and I feel like that has consumed my existence. All I do is puppies, chase puppies, tell them no, tell them yes, feed them, train them. So pretty much that's all I've been doing. It's pretty time consuming, but I'm so fortunate that my calendar has allowed me to be with them in like these early weeks when it's super important to be around and training them and crate training, potty training, all the trainings. So
Yes. It's going to make such a big difference. I
yeah.
know with our puppy that we got a year ago, she's the first one that we've had with us working from home. And she progressed so much faster than the other ones that we had to work and leave them for hours on end while we were at the office. And um, she still needs some work, but she definitely, with crate training and being not destroying all of our stuff, has been way better.
I love
Being able to
that.
stay on them with teaching and training those first few months makes all the difference.
Yes. Um, I read an article about a lot of COVID puppies having like separation anxiety issues. So like making sure even though I'm at home, I still spend time away from them and put them in their
Yeah,
crates even though I'm here. It's
yeah, I could
crazy.
see how that would be a big thing. I've gotten nervous leaving Marley, and she does really good with leaving as long as the other dog is here, but I
Mm.
haven't yet left her without her brother here, so I'm a little nervous about that. That would happen. Well, I take that back. She has been left without brother with one of us here. She hasn't been left solely by herself with no one here. So I'm like, oh.
Yeah. Wow.
Are there puppy any puppy wisdom coming through that you're like, oh, like these things are teaching me patience, or I don't know.
I was really I found myself really frustrated like at the end of last week and the beginning of this week like things aren't going my way and there's so many things happening at once whether I'm making their food, feeding the kids, packing their lunch and like doing all of these things and really I don't have to do half of the things I just listed. I could be making the kids do their own stuff. So as I've moved throughout this week, it's like, okay, you do your thing, you do your thing. I'm gonna put this person over here, the dog in the crate, and it's like noticing what's going wrong in each situation and
Mm,
wondering about how I can make it better next time so that I'm not continually frustrated.
yeah.
And that's made a big difference.
I love how in making it better, you're also recognizing where you can recruit the help of other family members so that you're not doing it all.
Yeah. Yeah. Because that's no fun. Like being so frustrated and carrying it all when you don't have to. Like
Yeah.
asking for help has definitely made it easier on me. Mm,
And good opportunity for the kiddos to learn that animal stewardship, and that it probably helps them realize how um this stuff's not easy, and parents make a lot of things look
yeah,
easy, or they just don't even realize the things that their parents do for them because they always do it for them. um so
yeah.
that's important.
I'm preparing to go to San Diego next week, which we can talk about in a second, but the kids won't have me around to do all of the things that I do
Mm.
for them. So I've been like training them for while I'm gone so that they can make sure they have their water bottles and their lunches and their breakfast and they got their socks on so they can get out of the house and prepared for school. Like I definitely set them up for success and I hope that I've shown them what they need to do next week.
Yeah. And then hopefully when you get back, they'll be like, I got this, mom. I don't need you for those, certain things.
Yeah. Yeah. Because my husband's going to have his hands full. So hopefully they can do what they need to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been trying to do a little prep to make it easier on Chris. And I mean, he already has it because we only have dogs, but um I've been like, getting food ready, freezing
Yeah.
it for the dogs and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's funny. It's funny that feeling of like, okay, we're leaving. Is everything gonna be okay? It will.
Right.
It totally will.
Yeah. It'll just be like it doesn't have to be up to our standards. I'm sure they will get by the way that they need to and
Yeah.
whatever's best for them.
Yeah.
And so it's just like that surrendering piece, like letting go. Like I don't have to worry and I don't have to grip onto the fact that you might not do everything the way that I would do it. It's all going to be okay.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
curious, do you get any like travel nervousness?
Mm. I used to hate flying. Like it gave me such bad anxiety taking off and landing, like just that, I don't know, that period of time. Um, but since I've been flying more and more as I've grown, but now I think coming back to that surrender piece and knowing that this flight is going to be okay, I'm not going to crash into the ground, and just like breathing through that process has made my anxiety about the flight a lot less. And
Yeah.
again, the surrendering at the airport, like it's all going to be okay. We're just going to move through all these people. We're going to get to where we need to go, check it out, and then I can go to the bathroom, and like just kind of surrendering and not over complicating and over perfecting everything that I'm doing has been very helpful in relieving that anxiety.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't really experienced too much anxiety with the plane ride itself, but I have like a low grade fear of being lost. So it's
Mm.
like the once I'm there and I land and I get off and now I need to find my way somewhere, even though like we have Uber and Google Maps and all these things, logically I'm like, we're totally fine. But there's a part of me that's, what if we get lost? And what if we can't find our hotel? And what if the reservation's not there or whatever? So this trip, because I didn't I wasn't in control of booking my flight or scheduling my hotel. It's definitely been a challenge in surrender for me and just trusting that someone else is scheduling it. They're going to make sure that I have a roof over my head and then I'm going to get to where I need to go. But yeah, it's interesting to release that control. It's kind of a reminder to me that I have a little bit of a grip on control when it comes to planning things and being the one that is putting all the ducks in a row. And when I'm not in that role, because I'm usually just the one that volunteers for it. When I'm not in that role, it's like, okay.
I totally resonate with that. I feel like if I'm not in that role, then we're just going to all be like standing around staring at each other and not doing anything to like have a good time or to progress in the right direction. Like, where are we going for dinner? Nobody thought about it, but there's 10 of us. So it's
Yeah.
like,
And it's Friday night and no one takes reservations. Yeah.
yeah, I love that. Just letting go and knowing that
Yeah.
it's all going to be okay. I
Yeah.
wonder if that fear is like ancestral or past life, since
Mm.
as you named, like we have the technology these days to like not really be in a place where we would be lost. So I'm so curious about that fear.
Yeah. That is curious. As soon as you said that though, a childhood memory came to mind of when I got lost. So that might be part of it.
Okay.
Cause yeah, there was a couple times. Once when I was like probably 6, when um me and both my brothers got lost because we were like, let's run into the elevator and press all the buttons. And then it closed before my mom got there. And we just went to a random like parking garage.
Oh no.
And I'm like 6 years old in this park. And then my mom didn't know where we got off because we had pressed all the buttons, you know.
Oh my
So it was
goodness.
like an ordeal. And then one time I got lost at Disneyland and I was
Mm,
all by myself and I wasn't with my family. I was like with a neighbor kid's family and they found me. But
wow.
I
So
think the instances are like ingrained in my nervous system.
yeah, yeah, back before you had access to that technology and you were just
Yeah.
so young and all alone.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, so you have an inner child there to nourish
I guess
before
so.
you
That's
take
the
off.
one. That's the one. I guess this is nice that it revealed that for me. We can have a little sit down before we go somewhere.
I love that.
Um, what do you do for or if this even comes up for you? I know I always challenged with my body not really liking like sitting on a plane for hours, and I'm usually end up feeling pretty tense. I try not to sleep because it like kinks my neck somehow. um so I'm curious if you have any practices. I know I always travel with a lacrosse ball in my bag,
Mm,
so when I get to the hotel or whatever, I can lean against the wall and kind of give myself a massage and like roll around. um, and then I'll try to stretch like at my layover and then when I get there, but curious
yeah.
any other things.
I love that idea, the lacrosse ball. And like, oh, that's juicy. Um, I really just try to stretch before, during, and after, like you said, and the movement at the airport. I usually won't sit long during a layover. I'll stand or walk.
Yeah.
Um, but I I don't mind sitting. I will sit on a couch all day if I can. But couch is a lot different than a
So much more comfortable. Yeah.
stiff airport chair. I never lean my seat back on the plane either because I'm so concerned about the person behind me. But I almost always have someone lean their seats back. So it's like I can
I
do
can
it
never
too.
get mine to lean back, honestly. Most of the time when I
Oh,
try to get them to lean back, it won't. I'm
so silly. Oh, but I'm so excited for this trip and going to do the pause level 2 advanced breathwork facilitator training in person. It's going to be amazing. And I think it's just what I need in this moment. I'm feeling a little disconnected. Not as heavy as I was a couple months ago or a month ago. I don't even know. um, but still not where I would like to be. So I think that this in-person retreat style training is going to be magical and
yeah.
just what I need. But I'm not trying to put any expectations on it, being like, if I don't feel amazing, then it wasn't worth it. So,
I'm sure it'll be a magical concoction of both because there's going to be expansion and contraction in it, but any contraction will be the catalyst to the next expansion, you know?
yeah, yeah. Speaking of that, I had this crazy visualization of expansion and contraction and the rebirth before I even read this thing. So it was really crazy to read it almost word for word. When a baby's coming through the birth canal, there's the contraction and the expansion. And
Mm.
after so many of those, the baby comes out. And it's just like this crazy, like portal. And there needs to be so many of those in order for you to get to the other side of the
Oh,
portal.
wow.
And I was like, whoa.
I never thought about that. That's
Yeah.
so true. Yeah, you don't just have one expansion and contraction and out it comes.
Yeah. Unless you're lucky, but I don't think that's how it works.
Well, and usually if it does, those are the ones that have complications or
Yeah.
tearing or all kinds of stuff we don't need to talk.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's kind of like that titration where I'm sure the first one is like kind of just like massaging its way open. And then
Yeah, your
you,
body needs that to adjust and have time to acclimate to the next contraction expansion that's going to be bigger than the last one and then continuing on.
yeah.
Oh,
It felt really life changing when I saw that. Oh.
that's that's so interesting. I've never thought about that. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes it more enjoyable is coming to mind, but like it's really not that enjoyable, more tolerable. The contractions, it makes them more tolerable, knowing that
Yeah.
it's just a process. And on the other side of it is a rebirth, is a whole new something.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's interesting too to think about how as we go through the expansions and contractions through these portals to the rebirth, it's like if we hadn't, all of the contraction and expansion is preparing us to receive. And if we hadn't had the pain of the contraction, the receiving wouldn't be as sweet.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And the relief of the contraction wouldn't be as sweet.
I love that. Like that presence and gratitude for every aspect of it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's cool.
Speaking of portals, we're coming into eclipse season.
I don't know if I'm ready. I thought I was ready. And then now I'm like, oh crap, all of this. And it's only, we haven't even like gotten to that part yet. I just feel like the energy's been so strong.
Yeah, it has been. And you're a Libra, so you're really feeling a lot of it. So
I'm feeling it.
buckle up and just ride the roller coaster.
Chris Cassini in his videos right now, he's like, buckle up, bitches. He's he's like, I'm not here to tell you it's not gonna rain. I'm telling you to get your umbrella.
I love
So
so for our listeners, the eclipse starts on Monday, the 25th. That is the lunar eclipse with the full
and
moon.
I was gonna say it's a full moon too. Holy caramba. I wonder if they
Yeah.
planned that for L2 for
Oh,
advanced
I'll be
training.
curious. And then the following, just getting 2 weeks from then on Monday the 8th, I think it is the solar eclipse. And in between the 2 week time frame is this portal. So those new moons and full moons, those aren't times to like manifest or do any like rituals or releasing or any of those things. Just simply be and allow the universe to do those things for you.
Wow. What a cool timing with this embodiment training to, oh, it's gonna be a powerful portal. I just got so much more excited
Ooh, yes.
because we are just going to be in it like so deep.
Mm-hmm. And then April 1st, which is the Monday in between the two, is Mercury retrograde. So again,
Mm,
just a time to be, reflect, and just be curious.
wow. I'm going to be out of town both weeks. So that'll be interesting. Not, which will probably be helpful in just being because I won't be in my normal routine of doing.
Yeah.
Um, but it's interesting to be gone from home that long. I feel like I've put down so much roots that it's a little bit difficult
Yeah.
to for me to leave for a couple weeks at a time.
Mm,
Um, so yeah, that'll be a practice in surrendering for sure. We'll have a
yeah.
house sitter. So one of the 2 weeks, Chris will be here, but the second week, which it'll be, I think we're gone for 8 or 9 days. Um, we'll have a house sitter for the pups and the cats, and that is going to be fine, but it always makes me nervous.
Yeah. So you got to prepare food for the dogs for that trip.
Yes. Actually, I misspoke. My preparations have been for that trip.
Okay.
I haven't been preparing for next week. Chris will be here to make it. But for the 8 or 9 days that we're gone, that's what I've been prepping more for.
Yeah.
So that the house sitter doesn't have to do that stuff. Because even when you have it all laid out, it's still kind of a lot when you're leaving written instructions for someone and it's just this big long list and it looks like a lot more when you actually write it all out than when you just do it every day.
Yes. All the little nuances of the things that you know and just naturally do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But at least since we our flock has been reduced,
Mm.
we decided to just start free ranging our chickens because we only have 5. So that's actually been really nice because we just leave the door open. They find whatever bugs. We hardly have to feed them, so that's nice.
Wow. And they're not getting attacked on the free range versus in the cage?
Yeah, because habituated to go back to their coop at night, and that's usually when the attacks happen, and the door on the coop where they actually are still closes at night.
Okay.
And so before, I hadn't realized that a power outage had messed up the programming on that door, so it wasn't closing at night. And so I think we had a skunk that kept getting in,
Mm.
and it had dug a hole under the outer fence of the coop. So it was getting into the chicken coop through the door and then dragging the chicken under the um
Skunksy chicken?
yes. Yeah. And um if they can't get it out, so like I realized something was digging under the fence and I backfilled it with rocks. And what skunks do if they can't get it out, it'll just take the head and leave the rest. And then you just come out with this headless chicken. And it's such a waste. And I don't want to waste the chicken. So, and I hadn't figured out the door part yet. So I'd taken it and I put it on the other side of the fence. And I was like talking to the forest. And I was like, this is a peace offering. Please do not kill another chicken. Take the one that you already killed. And it did.
Wow.
So strange.
I learned something new today. I did not know skunks ate chicken. Or that they
So
were
will
like,
foxes.
I could see that. But
Yeah.
skunks, I
But
had no
skunks are pretty
idea they
small.
were
Yeah.
like, that they hunted things. I thought they maybe just ate dead things.
Mm, yeah.
Interesting.
Surprisingly, it didn't take the eggs either, which I would think that
Mhm.
take the eggs.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I love that. So with your traveling, my traveling, we don't know when we'll record another podcast and get it out there. So we just wanted to really have this conversation today to catch up and let you know we don't know when we'll be back, but we'll be back at some point.
Yeah. And in the meantime, if any crazy happenings go on in the next 2-week portal, we'd love to hear about it. And if you are called to your own embodiment practices and your own ways of being through this portal, we'd love to hear about that too.
I love that. Yes. And I'll link a couple of our episodes where we do breath work and Reiki and all that in case you want to come back and listen to those in the meantime.
And when we get back, we're going to have so much juicy stuff to share after
Yay.
this training and next level embodiment.
Yes.
Mm-mm.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for watching. We hope you have a beautiful rest of the day.